the update. Well, we are going to touch base now with Mark Bevan, founder of Joust. And Mark, we've just heard that the Reserve Bank, they have lifted rates to 0.85. It is the biggest rate hike since February 2000. Were you expecting it to be quite this high?
We were predicting, Jade, that the RBA would lift by 0.4%. So, yeah, the 0.5% has caught the market a little bit by surprise. So it's even heftier than most were anticipating.
Why do you feel they've done that?
Oh, I think they're really seriously concerned about inflation, whether they can see in other parts of the world where inflation is really running rampant. The Reserve Bank, some commentators are suggesting that they've been a little bit slow to move, and they might be playing a little bit of catch up.
So what does that look like for us with our households, our mortgages on, let's say, a mortgage of $500,000? Yeah,
look, we've done that analysis, Jade, and look, for a first home buyer that's got a home loan, a recently new home loan of, say, $500,000, the 50-point increase today just by itself equates to $2,500 a year extra in interest, which is about $200 a month that they're going to have to find, which is not easy.
No, it's not. And not all of us have 500. A lot, I mean, especially over the last 18 months, if you've bought a house, the banks were pretty much handing money out for free. And a lot of us have significant mortgages out there way beyond that 500 mark. What does 800 look like?
Well, again, 800 would be more than $300 per month extra that someone would have to find. So,
yeah, big jump.
You're right. Those people that have got the larger mortgages are certainly going to feel the strain of this move, and the signals are quite clear. There's more pain to come.
Well, what do you anticipate happening?
Look, we think there's 6 more meetings for the Reserve Bank left this year, and most forecasters are suggesting that they could move at almost every meeting. So, another 1% on top of today's rate by the end of the year, wouldn't be out of the question. We can do the sums on that as well. So that's going to be very challenging, as we say, for those people with large home loans.
Mark, what are the risks of going too high too fast?
Look, I think what the Reserve Bank will be trying to manage will be to avoid creating a recessionary environment. The increase in the rates is designed to sort of slow down spending and try to take the heat out of inflation. But if it really destroys confidence and puts too many people under too much strain, we might see the economy shrinking and going backwards, which would be something that the Reserve Bank obviously tries to avoid.
Well, how does that equation work? You're pumping up interest rate heights in the hope of settling inflation, like you say. How does that work?
Well, I think if the Reserve Bank is successful with the interest rate rises, and they can achieve what's sort of generally called a soft landing without pushing the economy into recession. So it's a bit of something of a high wire act that the RBA need to confirm, and it's a matter of sort of really looking at all of that data and getting these decisions right.
Many experts said that they did have to be this aggressive to make a dent in what is happening in the economy right now. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, in Australia, there's something of a silver lining is that most of our home loan customers are on variable rates. In other parts of the world, the USA in particular, and even, say, New Zealand, there's a bit of a higher percentage of people that have got fixed rate home loans. Mm-hmm. But Australia tend to have in the main variable rate loans. So these rate moves will be passed on by the banks very quickly, no doubt, and so it's likely to have a quicker effect. A lot of customers at Joust, we saw a lot of customers last year attracted into fixed rates of, say, 1.99% fixed for 1 year or fixed for 2 years. What's going to happen there, of course, is that they're going to come off that rate of 1.99 either later this year or next year and be faced with a considerably higher rate. So these rate increases are going to be very impactful.
What would be your advice to people right now to secure a fixed rate, or what do you do?
No, look, we'd encourage the listeners to be looking at what their own bank offers in terms of no frills home loans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a really important time to understand exactly what's out there. And if your bank doesn't have a no frills home loan, which is, you know, at the, sort of the lowest rate that they're offering their customers, and if that's not available to you, then you know, it's important to use services like Joust to test the market and try to you know, keep that rate down as low as possible.
Mark, thank you so much. That's Mark Bevan, founder of Joust. Yeah, I mean, that hurts. Yeah, I mean, that hurts. Yeah, I mean, that hurts. Yeah, I mean, that hurts.